to you today by phone on YouTube. It's been a long time since I did a video on YouTube. Trying to stabilize the video. I think I'm good now. So I titled this video, want to start doing some live chats here on YouTube about the current state of real estate and funding and financing. And so I titled this video Real Estate and Funding in 2025. The reason why I titled this video Real Estate and Funding in 2025 is because we are in what's called, I'm calling it an economic reset. I'm going to do a podcast episode on that next couple of days. But we are going through an economic reset. And an economic reset is in regards to real estate, means that some of us are going to get left behind. You know, it's just sad to say some of us are going to be left behind. This is not the let me say the environment to try to figure it out. And when I say figure it out, I mean there's a time and place for everything. Primarily on my channel, I talk a lot about real estate and I talk about financing. But when I say figure it out, right now on the internet, if you truly want to leverage funding, business funding, and pair it with real estate, you're going to need more than information. Point point blank, you're going to need more than information. Why do I say that? There is plenty of information. There's plenty of information on funding. There's plenty of information on real estate. But if your goal is to marry the two, you're going to need implementation. Implementation. Meaning, how can I implement leveraging funding and buying real estate? And you're going to need more than surface information. And so my goal for you today is to share with you some takeaways for you to implement. Because like I said, in this economic reset, there are going to be people who are going to be left behind financially. It is what it is. And so you need to really decide. I'm the girl. I'm a girl. Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations. You're gonna have to truly decide what side of the coin you want to be on. I'm be honest with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Especially if you feel like, congratulations, it's a girl. Especially if you are that person that feels like some of the initiatives that just got signed in by the new president, if you're watching from the U.S., this is not a political channel. I don't talk a lot about politics. But if you feel like some of the new initiatives will affect you, will have an impact on what it is that you do, DEI being one of them, as well as all the others. That is why I said we are now in an economic reset. But with that being said, that's why I said some of us will be left behind. But with that being said, if your interest is in real estate, if you're interested in getting financing, funding for real estate, then listen and tap in. What you're going to need right now is you're going to need a plan on how to implement the information of funding. You're going to need more than someone telling you how to get a credit card. Because if all you needed was just a credit card to be able to buy real estate, there would be a lot of wealthy individuals. And so that sounds good on paper, but that really isn't really how things work in the scheme of buying real estate. I mean, are there some markets where the real estate is very low and you can use a credit card? to be able to purchase real estate, yes, but at a certain point you are going to be capped. And so you need to really decide on how you are going to be leveraging those funds. And so when I talk about implementation, implementation is about how am I going to at least be able to leverage the funds that I get or the funding that I'm seeking to be able to take advantage of opportunities that may be coming down the line. Let me explain something to you. I was at a real estate investors meetup here locally where I'm at in New Jersey. And with the whole ICE initiative, this is not to be insensitive to those or the families who have been affected by ICE, but there are communities in New Jersey that are heavily populated with individuals who would get affected by ICE. And so the real estate investor who spoke about him investing in commercial real estate and some of the properties that he owns, um, ICE has been knocking on doors or what have you. With that being said, investors in my market locally, that after him talking about that, that created a whole bunch of conversation of there are going to be opportunities that investors are going to be looking at. Because think about it, if you have a home that has a breadwinner in the family that may have gotten detained by ICE or may get detained by ICE, it's a good chance if that person is taken out of the home, the breadwinner, the mother, may not be able to handle the impact, the financial impact of that household. And so there are investors, as sad as it to say, there are investors who are literally looking for opportunities that may occur with the whole ICE invasion in certain parts of New Jersey. And that's just in my state. So imagine the other states that are going to be impacted. I really think that we are going, and once again, I'm thinking this is not based on facts or data, but I'm thinking that this economic reset is really going to be a devastation in regards to most people in their lifetime have never saw. You figure the 40-year-old now in 2025 was born in the 80s. That's not even in the 70s, because the kids that were born in the 70s, a lot of them are now in the 50s or about to be 50. But the children that were born in the 80s, or either just turning 40 or they're under the age of 45. And if you think about it, many of those young adults have never really seen, as an adult, have probably never seen nothing economically impactful than what's going on today. I'm not talking about the pockets of individuals who, may have lived in a financially destitute situation and they feel like, well, I've always seen financial destitute. I'm talking about financial and economic destitute throughout the whole country, where hey, how you doing, dog? How you doing? Where you have literally executives, six-figure business owners, 6 and 7 figure corporate executives and employees and consultants who are literally worried about the whole DEI initiative, especially in the realm of if it was centered around the work that they did, or especially in the contracting space and government contract. So that's what I'm talking about. This is the first time that an economic calamity can affect everyone. But I always like to rest on the side of, going back to what I said, what side of the coin do you want to be on? You do have a choice. That is the good thing. We, as humans that live in the U.S., do have a choice, but it's all in what you're tuned into. So if real estate is something that you want to hunker down in, like I said, real estate is not a something that you gonna get a quick lick. That's not the vehicle that gives you a quick lick. It is the vehicle that you can literally stamp and say, I'm going to ride the wave because I know it is going to help me accumulate wealth. I just recently got off a podcast episode that was pre-recorded, and the individual that I spoke to was a lady who was of a certain age, and she talked about how women, now of course it could apply to men too, that you can literally be in your 40s and still be able to accumulate wealth in your 40s using real estate as a vehicle. Because like she said, if you are 40, you have at least a 10 years to hunker down, put your nose down, and start to accumulate wealth. You literally have 10 years. Now, magnify that and say, okay, put another 15, and then now you're up to 65. That is really what I'm bringing home today. If you want to use funding, you don't need information. That's why I keep telling people, stop running around the internet trying to figure out information on how to get funding when it comes to real estate. I'm not talking about those people, the people who just want a credit card. Let them be. I'm not talking about the people who just want a credit card. I'm talking about people who literally want to figure out how to use funding to buy real estate. Because if that is something that you desire, it can work. The strategy, the methods can work. I don't speak on other people. I'm talking about how I help individuals. But there is a process on how it has to be done if it's going to be successful. Because it would only hurt a person to get a lot of information and not know how to implement it. And that's why with me, I'm a big advocate. I can tell someone some information, and then the other side of the coin, I can help them implement it. Because now we don't need no more information when it comes to funding. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of videos here on YouTube, on social media. You could go to ChatGPT, you could go to AI that will give you information on funding and real estate. And don't forget the free books in the library. Don't forget the books on Barnes and Noble if you want to have some coffee or tea or whatever choice drink. We are bombarded with information, but what we are lacking is implementation. So that's why this video that I'm doing is not a video on telling you how to get funding, because funding is not hard. Like I tell people all the time, that's not hard. You are missing the point. It's not hard to get funding. What is hard is how to implement the two. Hey, so come ride. Hey, hi. What is hard is marrying the two together to help a person get a result. That's the hard part. The funding part is not hard. Going around the internet, looking at a gazillion videos, being on a bunch of webinars, looking at a whole bunch of TikToks, that's only one piece. Because if it was just that easy, that all you needed was to just get a credit card, then there would be no poverty in America. Imagine that. It would be no poverty. And I've said that many of times in other videos. If all you needed was an LLC and a credit card to become wealthy in this country, we would all be wealthy. It wouldn't be people running around all crazy about, oh, the current president has signed all these initiatives in place or whatever. We would literally say, hey, don't fret, don't worry. All you have to do is just get an LLC and a credit card, and everybody will live, happily ever after again. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of mindset is going to hurt you in the long run. Like I said, but that's only if you desire to build wealth. Because even with everything going on, all the financial calamities that's going on, all the economic calamities that's going on, all the economic resets are going on, there are going to be opportunities. Now the decision becomes, that's only if you're looking to leverage wealth. Leverage real estate as a wealth building vehicle. What side of the coin are you going to be on? And that is all that I have for you today. In the next couple of days, I am going to be putting out a lot of content in terms of how to execute. Not content on more information, how to literally take something and then execute it and implement it for your own benefit. Because now we need more execution. We don't need no more information. I tell people all the time, you're only hurting yourself when you're listening to this one, you're listening to that one, you're trying to piece all these ideas and information together and trying to figure which one's which ones I'm going to get my lick from. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get your lick from anything because you're listening to a whole bunch of different methodologies, frameworks, ideas, etc. Just because people are using the same lingo don't mean that their methods are all the same. It's anyone can just use a terminology, but doesn't mean the methods are the same. That's why I said in this current economy, as I film this video in 2025, if you truly want to leverage funding and buy real estate, you're going to need more than information. If the person who's giving you information can't help you implement it, it's useless. That's right, you heard me. It is useless. It's not going to help you. You're going to be spinning your wheels, and when opportunities come down the line, you're going to miss out on, because all you got was a bunch of information that could have probably been regurgitated from ChatGPT or from another video. It's not going to help you to be looking at what somebody else accumulated. That's why I tell people all the time, what I invest in, what I do is not going to help you. What's going to help you is you having your own goals, your own desires, your own wants, and then figuring out, okay, this is what I want, how I'm going to get to it, if I need finance, and how I'm going to use it to be able to accumulate what it is that I want. That's what it boils down to. Days are gone with just getting information. If you feel like in 2025 you lacking information, that's because you are new to the internet. Because there is no shortage of information. What there is a shortage of is execution and implementation. Many of the people who are giving you information can't help you execute it. So that's all that I have for you. Thanks for watching me, those who did pop on to my YouTube live. Like I said, if you're new to me, please subscribe, hit the bell, whatever these social media apps tell you to do. But I will see you in the next video. So thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.